Humans have created enough plastic to cover the surface of the earth with trash many times over. According to Earth.org, about 8 million metric tons of plastic are thrown into the oceans annually. Almost everyone I interviewed was alarmed by these facts and agreed that recycling is vital. But many found recycling process difficult to do and hard to maintain. It's not that people don't think recycling is important, it's just that we've made it harder for the average person to do. We need to make it more accessible to the average person to recycle at home, at work, and in public places. Now, with my many hours of research and dedication to Mother Earth, I will go over how not recycling is affecting Mother Earth, the benefits of recycling, and the ways in which we can fix this problem. First, let's take a look at the effects plastic has on our environment. As you know, plastic can take up to thousands of years to decompose, but that's not the end of it. Decomposition is when microbial organisms feed on a material and break it down through enzymatic action, transforming it into another substance. However, microorganisms do not see plastic as food. That means that plastic does not decompose at all. It simply breaks down into smaller pieces due to weathering, thus creating something even worse, microplastics. Microplastics are exactly what they sound like. Incredibly tiny plastic that can get into everything. That means your food, your water, and even you. But it's not just humans that suffer the most. Marine animals are the ones with plastic in their necks and in their stomachs. About 1 million seabirds and 10,000 marine mammals are killed each day due to plastic ingestion. But it's not just animals that are being affected. We as humans are being affected too. About 99% of plastic is made by fossil fuel, which is polluting our air by adding more carbon dioxide and other dangerous chemicals. In fact, according to greenandgrowing.org, plastic chemicals can be absorbed by the human body. In fact, 93% of Americans from age 6 and older test positive for BEA. BPA is a common ingredient in plastic manufacturing. It is a chemical known to cause breast cancer, prostate cancer, and reproductive problems, and even more. But there's still hope. By recycling, we can cut down the amount of carbon dioxide we emit into the air. In 2013, we prevented 87.2 million tons of waste from going into landfills, which also kept 186 million metric tons of greenhouse gases from polluting the atmosphere. This is the equivalent of removing more than 39 million cars from the highway and roads for an entire year. All just by recycling. This is just one of the many ways that we can benefit from recycling. Recycling also reduces the consumption of raw materials demanded by our manufacturing needs, so that we may preserve the habitats of endangered wildlife such as the rainforest. Lastly, let's talk about something else other than plastic. Aluminum. Recycling aluminum can preserve enough energy required to run a 100-volt bulb for 20 hours, a computer for 3 hours, and the TV for 2 hours. But if you were also to recycle 125 soda cans, you would be able to conserve enough power to light up a house for an entire day. Isn't that crazy? Glass is also an amazing way to conserve power since it can never wear out and can be recycled forever. Glass will take up to 1 million years to decompose in a landfill. Recycling glass contaminants can save about 9 gallons of fuel. So now that we've been aware of the benefits of recycling, let's look at the possible ways we can make it easier for people to recycle. The most obvious way is by giving us recycling bins to where we may separate different types of recyclable materials, such as one for plastic, one for paper and cardboard, and one for metal and glass. By doing this, we make it easier for the average person to sort out their recyclables. Also, What if instead of going to the recycling center, they had a truck that came to you every 2 to 3 weeks? This would allow for less recyclable materials to end up in landfills. This could also be a good solution for big marketplaces such as shopping centers, food markets, and any other small businesses. By giving them bins to sort out their recyclables, it can save a lot of consumption of raw materials. But this would benefit us both because each time the trucks came by, they would weigh our recyclables and note the contribution depending on how much you have recycled and how often you could be eligible for a proportionate tax break. The tax break would create an incentive for a general population to recycle more and more consistently. To conclude, we should allow people to recycle on a daily part of their life. To conclude, we should allow people to make recycling a daily part of their lives and allow Mother Earth to thrive for many years before we get to the point of no return. Maybe by the end of mankind, we'll only be remembered by the plastic we left behind. Thank you for watching, and Forky's out.